Well, Coach, I know like one of the biggest goals is to get out of this thing healthy and kind of see some retention. How would you kind of assess both of those fronts after this?
We are healthy, and so that's a great thing. Really, as you look at it, 9 days into camp, I think our guys have taken to the culture of recovery and finding time to make sure that they're doing everything they possibly can to get themselves ready for the next day's practice. And I think the growth in that has been, man, it's been fun to see and been really good. The retention piece of it, installs have been heavy. We've put a lot on them. You know, we want to create some stress for them to see how they're going to respond. And as you can imagine, there's been some good and there's been some not so good. So a ton to clean up, ton of work to do. But again, our guys right now are, man, they're dialed into getting better.
Before watching the film and all that, but anybody kind of catch your attention, or any group today catch your attention?
Yeah, I mean, what I loved was, defensively found a way to create turnovers and some negative plays. And that for me was a great thing to see from the defensive side of the ball. Man, when they got their hands on the ball, made plays, created some huge momentum plays in the scrimmage. And that was good to see, and it was the unit. Kelly Jones had a score a touchdown from 50, 60 yards out, which was great to see. And again, just guys making plays. We've talked about that nonstop. When you're in position to make it, and we got to make it. And so, again, we were far from perfect, but we've got a chance to build on that.
You mentioned the defense. Do you see them bringing more energy right now than maybe previous? I know they always played hard, but have you seen a difference?
Yeah, I think it's just a more connected group as much as anything, and so I thought something that was different than what I'd seen is, the players made a decision today as we walked over from the seal to get here to the stadium. The entire defense walked together. Nobody left without the other, and that was good to see. Just again, I think there's connection over there. There's some trust being created inside the unit. There's accountability, and that's what we got to have a chance.
Coach, as a play caller, head coach, you're a bit more involved in the offense than a lot of other head coaches. Are things kind of smoothing over as the units are coming together, and are you liking what you're seeing so far at this point?
Yeah, today the frustrating thing offensively was not taking care of the ball. We did some really good things. We created a couple of explosives and did some decent things in the run game, but then, turnovers were the storyline today. And so, man, the ball is the program, and we've got to make sure we're doing a great job of taking care of it. We've done a pretty good job throughout fall camp of doing that. 9 practices in, but that was the story today.
What have you seen out of Fluff Bothwell since he's arrived here, and what do you kind of see his role playing for the season?
Yeah, a guy that's going to be incredibly involved. I talked a lot about the running back room in the spring, and Fluff is, he's serious about being great. He's had a great camp, great start to it, great 9 days, and excited about Fluff and what he's going to do for us.
You mentioned a heavy install these first week or so of camp. How does that compare to the last preseason, the degree of install you were able to do with that bunch?
Yeah, I think the cool thing is that we're getting more guys getting more reps, and so there's more tape to watch, there's more film, there's more going on because, again, from a roster standpoint, we've been able to practice how we need to practice just to give ourselves a chance. And so with a lot of newness, again, a bunch of the guys defensively were here in the spring. Offensively, the line of scrimmage with our offensive linemen and then the tight end position, and those guys are new, and so they're 9 practices in. And I think that's, again, I talked about it, I guess, after day 1. That's where we've got to make this huge amount of growth as fast as we possibly can is getting those guys on the same page.
New look O-line and D-line for the most part. Today, first time really in a game-type situation that you've seen them kind of face off. What are your impressions about today's battles in the trenches?
Yeah, I think, again, we'll have to watch it just to be able to evaluate it the way we need to evaluate it. I know that 9 days in, the physicality at practice is completely different than what it was. And so, again, there has to be that to have a chance. And we've got that right now. I love how hard our guys are practicing. We've got, again, on the offensive line, we've got to come together as a unit who are the top 8 guys, top 7 guys that can go play winning football throughout the season for us, and that's probably the biggest strain for us offensively right now.
Along those lines, obviously you got more competition and more depth on both sides of the line this year. Are there any guys starting to I know you still got a couple more weeks of camp, but are there any guys starting to separate themselves a little bit? I mean, I know there'll be rotation spots up for grabs all the way up to game week and in the season, but any guys kind of caught your attention trying to separate themselves?
Yeah, there really there's been a good core group of guys in the D line that have done a really good job. I'm going to wait and to name names until we get through next week's scrimmage, get 2 weeks all the way into this thing. But I think the best part about what's going on the defensive line right now is we're going to really have the ability to go play 10, 11 guys and play winning football with 10 or 11 guys. And so that is great for us. That's huge for us. We need them to keep coming. We need great competition so that we have the ability, man, to roll guys, play fresh, and play hard.
You got, obviously, you talked about the running back room, and there's a lot of depth there. And, you know, we've seen a couple of videos of Seth Davis. You kind of, obviously had a brutal injury, but are you kind of surprised how he kind of looks now? I know it'll be a while before he gets back to 100%, but has he kind of surprised you with what he's been doing?
Yeah, it's probably the coolest story, or probably the most special story of fall camp to me. I mean, here's a guy that's gone through what he's gone through, still battling the things that he's battling. Pretty special, pretty amazing, and what a great testament to who he is as a person, as a competitor. And I think what an incredible example for our football team to see. And love who he is, love that he's with us, and being able to practice and go out and compete as he's trying to work himself back to being himself.
Coach, last week Art Briles was at open practice. Are there any boundaries around his presence in regard to
No, I mean, Coach being here was, again, with family. I think that was addressed. And, man, we want family at practice. We want family at scrimmages. And that, for me, is special, and that's how it's going to continue to be.
The turnover topic has come up here a few times. I know you really want to see the defense making those plays, but how do you hide from your offense that you're excited to see the defense making plays like that?
Yeah, it's a fine line, and I think for me, again, of course I want to see the negative plays. I want to see us getting the ball out and creating the turnovers. We talked in the team meeting today about win percentage and the turnover battle, and you can be +2 to +3. Your win percentage right now is going to be over 80%, and so man, stressing that, and that's both sides of the ball. But I think creating that awareness nonstop is critical for us as we move forward. But there's a fine line in that.
Coach, I know you're a very process-oriented guy, and you grade your coaches as well. But 9 practices into this thing for the first scrimmage, how do you feel like the process went as far as just kind of facilitating a game-type atmosphere?
Yeah, again, there's going to be a ton to clean up, but our communication, obviously both sides of the ball, having coaches up in the box, having coaches downstairs, having the iPads, having the full game day piece of it from a communication standpoint, we're in a really good spot. I think, having the ability to be year 2 with the staff back, obviously Phil being year 1 for us from an O-line standpoint, but spent 6 years with me before that, so that is incredibly seamless, and so we're in a great spot from that standpoint.
Coach, it seems Trevion is taking more of a step defensively. What do you want to see out of him this year?
Yeah, Bam Bam just continuing to get better and then make plays. I think for him, it's exciting because now he's year 2 in the defense. He's settled in, and he's a guy that I think he's gotten better and better. He's one of those guys that, we mentioned the 10 or 11 guys earlier, and he's definitely one of them that's done a really good job. He's got to continue to keep coming, keep pushing. But again, I like where he's at. I like where that room's at.
Saw you earlier this week working with some of the tight ends during the practice that we saw. How does an improved tight end kind of upgrade this offense or enhance what you guys want to do?
Creates freedom. I mean, that's what it does as a play caller. When you have multiple tight ends that can go execute a lot of different things, it creates freedom. And so That room has been upgraded in an incredible way since June 1, and fired up about Max and Sam being here. Two unbelievable kids that are talented kids that love football, and I'm excited about that group.